Welcome to this Wiltshire Caravans handover video for this brand new 2026 Elddis Crusader Solano. Now you may not have heard of the Solano. You may not also know, but you may, that the affinity range is no longer. So these this is one of the replacements. Basically it's Crusader look, so it's the lighter wood, etc. But I'm not doing a review, I'm doing a handover video. So come and follow me. We're going to go around the back to start with. And as we normally do, we'll get on with it straight away. Oh, nice lamppost. I hope there's no birds sat on the top of it. Right. There you are. Highline brake light. Normal light clusters, so that's your reversing lights, fog lights, indicators, hazard lights, brake lights and running lights. Area for your number plate, as always, reflectors, and these have got the heavy duty corner steadies. You'll also possibly see they're already pre-made, pre-ready for bike racks, which is a bit of a bonus. So all the strengthening's already been done. Come around to the offside, if I can find them. Yeah, there they are. Right, down here you've got your waste outlets. So that's for your grey waste, so 2 sinks, bathroom and kitchen, and for your shower. Moving along a bit further on, we have wheels. It's quite handy on a caravan. Single axle, this one. The wheel nuts are torqued up to 130 Newton meters. And I'll show you on something on the weight plate on the other side, all the information regarding the wheels and tyres. So you've got freezer and fridge vents. Offside service light, that's a really handy, so if you need to change your water barrel at night, there you go. They now come with 2 keys instead of 1. So you've got one big key, that's for the main door. The little key does all of your outside stuff, all your lockers. Not surprisingly in the battery box, or actually quite surprisingly, there's no battery in it yet, because it's brand spanking new. So that's where your battery goes. There's your electric hookup. If you have a motor mover fitted, we will fit the isolator in there, but that's a different video altogether. Also got in there a 12-volt socket and an F-type aerial connector for an external aerial. Oh, that's a bit tight. Anyone think it was new? Thank you. Right, this is where your water pump goes in. And if you bear with me, I will get a water pump. So, one water pump. It's not the water pump you get with this one. This is my one. I can tell that because it's got demo written on it. However, you do have a water pump. We'll have a look in the gas locker in a minute. So, one water pump. Whale, in it goes, and just clip that down in. That's the bit that goes into the water barrel. The lid just goes over where the lid goes. And when you're going to change a barrel, clip it in there just to keep the main water part, the main pump, off of the deck. Gas locker, oddly enough, area for 2 gas bottles, 6 kilo propane. We set it up with a single, we call them pigtails, but a gas pipe. The Crusader range comes with a large feet. You get a TV bracket. You've got your water pump, 25 metre lead, leg winder, biggest waste of time of all, waste of space of all time. 1 wheel brace. If you could get those wheel nuts off with this, you're a stronger man than I. And also, most importantly, you get an Alco wheel lock. Now that is really good. Insurance companies love them. Quick handy hint with these gas lockers doors, make sure when you're closing it, you get to about there, quite a wide stance, and be quite firm with it. And then that's closed. And then to lock it, usually goes in there, close up, locked. That will still go in, but it is locked. Can't get the key out now. Right, we're running on the Alco chassis. Now the Alco chassis, this one has the Alco ATC, ATC being Alco trailer control. What that is, basically a sensor underneath the chassis, so if the caravan should start to sway at all or move about, it dabs the brakes on to stabilise things. Normally you'll only find out, notice it if there's a speed hump or something and you go over it, and at that point the caravan will feel a little bit heavy for a couple of seconds. Right, on the near side, first thing we come to, outside gas barbecue point. If any of you have seen my videos before, you know I always bang on about it. Please, please, please do not use a gas barbecue inside an awning. Not the best of ideas. Another locker, an external locker. This one is literally just for under bed storage, or under bench storage, I probably should say. So storage under there. It's got a plate on there so you can't damage the floor itself. You've also got in here a 230 volt socket and an external antenna point. So if you want to run power into your awning, you can do so from there. It saves having to keep a window open or anything like that. I mentioned the weight plate. So this is the weight plate, all the information you need. So what we've got on here is the CRIS number and the maximum plated weight, which on this one is 1525. Massive running order is 1351. So you've got 170-ish kilos to play with. However, don't forget that if you put motor movers on, being a single axle, you only have 2, so you're looking at an extra 32 kilograms. So the tyre size, tyre pressure is 60 psi, so it is quite high. Wheel bolt torque of the steel, so the spare, which is at the back underneath, that's 102 Newton meters. The alloys, that's 130 Newton meters. Moving on a little bit, one door. Oh, 2 doors. So it's got the stable doors, basically, the split doors, so you can keep children or animals in or out. Awning light up there, TV antenna up there. Right, okay, so now to the exciting part, the toilet. You'll know when the toilet needs emptying because there's a a light next to the flush button that shines up just to say that the cassette needs emptying. So in here we have the standard Thetford cassette. Make sure the toilet flap is closed, otherwise you do struggle to get these out. Lift and just pull it towards you. At that point, you can, should you wish to do so, wheel it along. But when you get to the destination where you need to empty this comes forward, take the lid off, make sure you put it somewhere safe. You don't want this to fall into the hole or you have to go and get it. Not for me, thank you very much. So put that somewhere safe. This goes over the receptacle. Press that button to release any pressure. That way you'll help the flavour flood out. At that point you'll want to rinse out. I always suggest put the lid back on. We'll see why in a minute. Open that flap. Open that. You'll always have a hose pipe around. Hose, 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 hose. Close everything up. Give it a swill. That's why you want the lid back on. Then take the lid back off. Repeat the process. You'll want to put some fluid in, whether that's blue or green, depending on where you are, what you need to put in. There are measures on the cap, so you can literally just fill up to the measure whatever you need. Read the bottle to see what they recommend. Put it in, or you can put it in there direct. It's up to you. Sometimes they say dilute it with a little splash of water. I generally know I'm going to put a little splash of water in fairly quickly. And then that just slides back in there. Simple as. You'll also notice there's no flush reservoir. That's because the water comes straight off your mains water. Okay, so that's the external. Oh dear, now for your internal. Do come in, Daniel. So, this is the Solano. Basically, it's the replacement for the Affinity 550. So you've got your standard configuration benches here, middle bathrooms, and you've got the bedroom at the back. Same width as the old Affinity, it's just the colours are different. They're obviously a lot lighter than the Affinity colours. Okay. Nice shower, I know. Right, so you've reversed perfectly onto your pitch without using your motor movers. Well, not if you're me, you don't. plug your electric in, get your legs, everything steady and level, turn the power on. This is your main power button here. Even if you're not plugged into the electrics, if you've got a leisure battery in here, which you should have, it will come on. If you find that the power's dropping on this sign here after using for a while, or if your fridge won't work on electric or anything like that, and you think, actually, is there electric coming into the caravan? I'm going to show you how to check. Under here, you've got the consumer unit, PDU. You'll hear it called many things. But this basically is all your breaker switches and your fuses. Everything's labelled up so you can't really go wrong. Just under here, there is a test button. So if you push that button, as long as that comes down, you know there is power coming in mains electricity coming in. If it doesn't, then you haven't got electric. If it doesn't pop down, you haven't got the electric coming in. Good place to look. So that's the first, well, second handy hint. Right, so power on. These are light switches. They're your outside lights, so your gas locker light, awning light, and your service level light service light on the other side. Internal lights. Those are your spots around your the big star view, and that's your mood light in the front. Lots of other light switches about. We'll get round those. Oh, to be fair, everyone just goes around pushing all the light switches anyway, so we'll get to that. Water. So I showed you where that water pump goes in. The water pump is in at the moment. To turn the water pump on, you might be able to hear it whirring away. Not going to do it for long because I don't want to wear out my little demo, but that means the water would be coming in. So whilst I'm talking about water, before you get the water in, you need to make sure that all your taps are shut, as in shut, all of them, and that your drain down valve is closed. Also, talking of drain down valves, which is under here, don't know if you can get down to there, Dan, not at your age. That yellow tap there in that position, that drain down valve is open. That is good at this time of year, specifically to empty out all water from the caravan. You don't want fluid in here that's not supposed to be in here. Okay, flick it down to the horizontal, and that way the water will be able to come through into the caravan. But as I said, close all your taps. Excuse me, close all your taps before you do that. Whilst we're talking in British weather, heating. So it's got the Elddis central heating system and hot water system. Elddis being a Swedish company, I believe. To turn the main system on, power on. And it comes up compact 3030, so it takes about 10 litres of hot water. Well, it doesn't take it, it produces 10 litres of hot water in the boiler, which is under there. It is a continuous effect, so it is a combi boiler. But just to very quickly go through this, there is a separate video that I send direct from Elddis themselves, which is really useful. But this one, so it's just telling us at the moment we're plugged into the mains. So temperature, how warm, what's the minimum temperature you want to be in here? Goes up to 30, and you can drop it down as much as you like. My suggestion would probably be about 18 or so, I don't know, whatever suits you. So the heating won't come on until it drops below that. You can do it to whatever you like in half-degree increments, I should say. Press menu to go back, or you can press that arrow to go back. Energy. Oof, I haven't got a lot of it. You've got options of electricity, 0 kilowatts, so off, and gas is off. 1 kilowatt, oh no, I didn't mean to press that. 1 kilowatt. Now that will warm this caravan up, but it will take an age. My suggestion would be to go to 2 kilowatts, make sure everything's warmed up. At that point, depending on how much power you've got available to you on the site, you might want to drop that down to 1 kilowatt just to maintain the temperature. You can go up to 3 kilowatts, but on most sites, as soon as you do that, you'll pop the pole, the breaker on the pole. You can use, of course, electric and gas if you wish to do so. but I'm too tight for that. I've already paid for my gas, I've already paid for the electric on the site, usually. Very straightforward, that's as simple as it is. You do have a priority, you can choose electricity or gas. Load monitor, so if you only know you've got 10 amps, you can set that. I don't know anyone who's actually done that on one of these things. It's normally just play it by ear, so to speak. You also have a high altitude mode, so if you're going to altitudes above 1,000 meters, you can select that. So that's your energy. Hot water, well, the options are off, on, or boost. Off, no hot water. On, that will give you enough hot water 95% of the time, if not more. If you do choose to go on to boost, if you've got 3 or 4 people going to go and have a shower in quick succession, by all means do so. You've got 30 minutes of boost, you can change that in the settings. However, that will take all of the power away from the heating on this system. So the 1, 2 or 3 kilowatt system, that is only to do with the hot water and the heating. It's nothing to do with the rest of the caravan. So if you've only got 10 amps and you put it onto 2 kilowatts, that's about 8.8 amps. So you haven't got a lot left. So if you put the kettle on, you might pop the pole, so to speak. Clear as mud probably, but moving on. Menu. So you've got lots of different menus. You've got a night mode, so you can set a different temperature for whatever day you want, from whatever time you want. I'm trying to go back. Day mode, same sort of thing. Easily done. However, personally, all I ever did was go like that. It's a lot easier. But you can make it as complicated as you like. Other things on here, pump auto, leave that. Delayed start, leave that. External start doesn't work unless as of yet. Display, you might want to change that because there is the brightness. You can turn it to a low brightness or a high brightness. Status page, you can make it go dark, so as soon as you press a menu, it's dark. Other things on here that you won't need to do unless you phone up because there's a problem and one of our engineers says you need to press reset. You've also got the manual on here, but you do get a paper manual in your pack with us. It's actually a lot more straightforward than I've made it look. Night mode off. Very straightforward. Clear as mud. Excellent. Moving around the caravan. Obviously this does turn into a double bed. That comes out. Move the cushions accordingly. Up in here. So comes with a radio. It has a USB port and an auxiliary port. That's your amplifier for the TV and aerial. There's your Brucey bonus. It's got a solar panel. So a solar panel, 100-watt solar panel on these. That will keep your battery trickle charging in times of sunshine. I've got a separate video for battery management and winterizing because if you leave the caravan over winter for say 3 or 4 months without coming to it or trying to draw any power on it, after 12 weeks the solar panel charge unit shuts down. It stops working and then you can have a flat battery. Which seems daft, but if you have got a solar panel and you are going to leave it for a period of time, I would say after about 8 weeks, get into your caravan, turn your master switch on without being plugged into the mains, but turn your master switch on, turn the lights on, draw some power out of the battery. That will keep the solar panel charging in effect. TV antenna, all you need to do, slide that down, slide the shaft up, point it in the same direction everyone else has got theirs in, and then tighten up the nut. Very simple. Then retune your television. But do make sure you put this down before you travel. Blinds, they're everywhere. You've got blackout blinds here. You've got blackout blinds and fly screens all around. You have on here as well, fly screens that side. Blackout blinds this side. You also have a blackout blind on the door. All of the Heckeys and the Star Views have got these blackout blinds. Right, kitchen. Let's get to the fridge. That's exciting. So the fridge, Dometic fridge, To turn on, press and hold that button. So you've got options. It's currently on auto. You can change the mode. So on battery, so you can change that, put that on your car to maintain the temperature of the fridge whilst you're driving, as long as you've got a 13-pin plug or the 2 7s and they are wired up correctly. Sometimes we do find people say my fridge won't stay on, but we find out it's actually the wiring of the vehicle that's not up to it. So, by the way, that will only maintain a temperature. It will not cool a fridge down from get-go, so to speak. Mode change gas. So if you're off grid, you can run it on your gas. It's also a very good idea to turn your fridge on to gas every now and then, just to keep the system going, and it does cool down the fridge faster than electricity. But if that started flashing and when you've got the gas on, you think, I don't know what's going on, press the reset. That's all you need to do. You've got electric. Obviously, when you're plugged into the mains, that's on electric. Or auto, that will select what you've got in. So if you left it on auto, unplugged your electric hookup, then plugged your car in, as long as it's all right, that will come straight over to the battery, well, the battery side, but that's running off your car alternator. Okay, light switches everywhere, as I said. You've got light switches there. So you've got light switch, main kitchen lights, under counter lights, and you've also got a falling over drunk light, or stop yourself falling over drunk light when you're coming in, just down there. So I'll just do a quick flash. There we were. Microwave does microwave things. It's got an isolator, or plug as we call it, up there. Cooker. So Thetford cooker, you've got 1 electric hob, 3 gas burners. You've also got a light for the oven. You've got a separate grill and oven. There's your spark. Does say do not shut lid when burner light. Kind of makes sense, but please don't. And also, if you've been using the electric hob, don't put that straight down after you finish using it. Let it all cool down. Stick a saucepan of water on it or something like that. Or if you're worried that that might get turned on by accident, under here you've got a plug socket. That's the plug for it. If you unplug it, that's not going to come on. You've also got 2 gas isolators there. They are for the fridge and the oven and grill. If you're using butane, I would suggest probably using them. If you're just using propane, just turn everything off at the bottle. Makes sense. Like I said, microwave does microwave things. Over this side, should we call it the entertainment area? Not really. But this is where your TV goes. So you've got your TV coax, LF type connector, 12 volt, and a 230 volt socket in there. I forgot to mention, over in this corner, you've got a 230 volt socket, but you've also got a couple of USB points as well. Come to the Omnivent. Ooh. Ooh. Surprise. Wi-Fi, fitted as standard on the Crusader range. So there you go, 1 Wi-Fi system. So 4G Wi-Fi, you will need a SIM card and obviously a subscription or a pay-as-you-go SIM card, however you want to do it really. Come through now to Omnivent. So an Omnivent basically is a fan. To open, keep turning that. That's your on button. Be gentle with it. You do not need to be violent with these. You don't need to go like that. Just be patient. There you go. So that's extracting. And then give it a chance. Here it comes. And that will just draw air in from the outside. But do always remember when not using, or particularly when you're about to travel, make sure you close that. Actually, while we're talking about little vents, these are a little bit of a dodgy, not dodgy, but there's a knack to them. Make sure that all 5 of these are open. So, some people just go, oh, that's difficult. Go like that and it doesn't work. Wait for a click. Go again. click. Once you've heard that click, that will hold into place. To remove it, down, up, down. But also, you need to make sure when you close it, you've located the lugs correctly. Come through, Daniel. Come through to the bedroom, darling. So, bedroom area, very straightforward. Shower. They used to be a rounder shower. These are really much better now. And you've got points where you can keep the doors locked in place while you're travelling. Always do that. Toilet. Oh, we've got the Hollywood mirror. It doesn't make me look like I'm from Hollywood, apart from maybe E.T. But so Hollywood mirror. Uncle, thank you. Not Uncle Fester. That's harsh, but fair. Yeah, this is a heated towel rail from the Elddis system. Gets very hot. Be aware of it. The toilet seat does swivel round. There's your flush button. Not going to work at the moment because we're not connected to water. But that's where the light comes on to say that the cassette needs emptying. And you've also got, when I was saying about opening the flap, opening and closing the flap, that's now open, that's now closed. Make sure it's closed when you're going to empty out your toilet cassette. So in the bedroom, in there, this wardrobe here, you can see that's the reservoir for the Elddis fluid. You just make sure it's around about minimum or just above. We call it the rule of thumb. You don't need to fill it to max, because if you do, when it being a liquid, it expands when it heats up and it will just overflow outside the caravan. You know, loads of room under the bed, so plenty of storage there. Don't have anything heavy under there when you're traveling though, because it's towards the end of the or the back of the caravan. Another TV point in here. Got TV points there and an area where you put your bracket on. More light switches, more USB sockets, and pretty much that's about it. It's a fantastic van. Personally, I loved the old Affinities, and I thought it was a bit of a shame that they've taken them away, but no, they're fine. Does have an alarm on the caravan. I'm not sure if this is going to have a tracker. Most Crusaders have trackers. I'd need to find that out. And I will let the prospective owner or new owner know that if it's the case. But if you like what you see and want to come and have a look, please give us a call, 01373 752 100, option 1. That's the sales team. Myself, Andy, Danny, Jamie, whoever takes the call can help. We prefer it when you come to see us, 36 Headquarters Road on the White Horse Trading Estate. It's a business park, I don't know why. On the West Wilts Trading Estate in Westbury, BA134JR. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, which is probably where you're watching this. We're all over the place, generally. You can email us at sales@wiltshirecaravans.co.uk. If you want to see our stock, have a look at our website, wiltshirecaravans.co.uk. Like I say, it's easier just to pick the phone up, give us a call, or come and see us. Any questions? Feel free to ask. Okay, thanks for your time. See you again on the next one.